guys, welcome to week 2, day 1. This first video, you guys aren't really gonna have to do anything. It's just an informational video that I think is important for you guys to know, and that is focus mitts. In our classes and in a lot of boxing gyms, they have heavy bags, but then they also have focus mitts. And we use these a lot in our classes because what's just like in their name, they allow you to focus and work on precision of your punches. Unlike a heavy bag, you can kind of hit anywhere. On the mitts, you're working with a partner and you have to rely on your partner to be known what shots you're gonna be throwing. Focus mitts are kind of like baseball mitts. You kind of slide your hand underneath. There's a strap here and you guys just tighten, make sure it's on nice and strong. When you hold focus mitts, you still have your wraps on normally. I just don't because we're doing air punches. But if you were to go to a boxing gym, you have your hand wraps on, put it on here, and you're working with a partner. There's a couple things I just want to go over real fast about focus mitts. Couple things I see when I train people or I go to other gyms, and then just some things I want you guys to keep in mind. When you're doing focus mitts, you're working with a partner. Usually they're the same stance as you, orthodox to orthodox, and we'll go over that part first. So when you're doing focus mitts, the first thing you want to do is you want to get into your stance. Just because you're holding mitts doesn't mean that's your time to relax. I always say if the mitt holder's sweating by the end of the round, that means you're holding the mitts correctly. If you're just kind of here, holding your mitts, not really engaging with your partner, you got to step it up a little bit. Mitt holding is partner-to-partner training. The connection between you two is very important because you guys have to read each other's codes, I guess you could say. If I was to hold my mitt up here, you automatically know that's for your one, kind of so on and so forth. So connection is very important when you guys hold mitts. So you want to be in your stance, you want to be ready, you want to be engaged. When you're holding mitts, you have control of the round. The puncher does not go if your mitt is not up ready to go first. So when you're doing mitt holder, you have all the power. So if my mitts are down, my puncher is not throwing anything. Their hands aren't down either. They're still up. They're ready for me. They're waiting for me to signal which punch I want them to throw. When you guys are doing mitt holding, again, it's called focus mitts. When you have your mitts out here, that's not focusing on one area. You usually want to bring them a little closer together. You kind of want to bring them around your face. This symbolizes someone's head. And so that's kind of where you want to keep your mitts up here by your face. So they're more focused on coming, okay, that's someone's head. Versus having your mitts down here and having them throw from down here, this is someone's chest. You wouldn't really ever throw a punch at anyone's chest. So keeping them up, coming here by your face. I always like to have my rear mitt, my face of the mitt face my partner, and then my lead hand kind of turned inward. So this is kind of like the side of my face, and this is the front of my face. So you can kind of do it this way. So making sure you're in your stance when you're mitt holding, you're ready to go, and your mitts are focused on a specific area. They're not all the way over here. Second thing, or third thing, is when you're mitt holding, you're kind of doing like a patty cake. You're meeting each punch. Why would you want to meet each punch? Because if I were to hold a mitt up and I didn't give any feedback, we call it, and they wail their two at me and I didn't engage a little bit, I could really hurt my wrist. If they punch, my wrist can kind of go backwards, and so I can injure my wrist that way. So you want to give feedback. You don't want to overcommit. You don't want to go halfway and push their punch back. You just want to meet just a little bit. Little bit of feedback. I call it patty cake. You're doing patty cake with somebody. The last thing, which is probably the most important to really grasp, is a lot of times people think, oh, mitts is so hard, it's so confusing. It's really not. If you're doing mitts with somebody who's an orthodox, same stance as you with their left foot in front, your one is their one. And when you do mitt holding, left meets left, right meets right. So their one is your one. So in the next videos, you guys will see, you guys have some combinations you're going to go over today. Let's pick the first one. Or let's just do the 4 in the 1 through 4 series. 1, 2, 3, 2. How do I do that as a mitt holder? Okay, if the person is in the same stance as me, their 1 is my 1. So I'm gonna do the as if I were to be the puncher, and I'm gonna do the combination. 1, 2, 3, 2. Their punches are my punches. So you're essentially doing the combination with your partner. You're just holding mitts. When you hold for the 3 or the 4, you want to turn and face the surface of your mitt inwards. The 3 and the 4, you can turn it sideways this way if you'd like. I kind of find it kind of tweaks my wrist a little bit, so I just hold it up here. When you're doing a 5 and a 6, you come from up top, not all the way up here, just from up top. You give a little bit of feedback, 5 and 6. So again, their 1 is your 1, their 2 is your 2, their 5 is your 5, you just come over top, their 6 is your 6, and you just meet them a little bit. Now, let's say, oh my goodness, my person is a southpaw, they're different, their foot lines up with mine, what do I do? You have 2 options I kind of see. First one is you can stay in your regular stance, but no, now everything is backwards. Their 1 is actually your 2. Their 2 is actually your 1. So you can stay in your stance, but just kind of know everything is a little bit backwards. Or you can switch your stance and be in southpaw with them. Now, which hand is my 1? This one, the same side that's on my lead leg. This is my 1, this is my 2, this is my 3, this is my 4, this is my 5, this is my 6. Because what? Everything on the lead side, no matter what stance you are, is going to be odd numbers. Everything on the rear side, no matter what stance you are, is going to be even numbers. So I find when I hold for southpaws, I usually like to switch my stance. Sometimes when I'm awake and had my coffee, I can stay in my orthodox stance and just remember everything is backwards. So it just kind of depends. Again, this is nothing you guys are really gonna practice unless you guys have mitts at home. Or if you guys have a sibling or something and you don't have mitts, you guys can use your hands and go nice and light. Again, when you hold for a 3 and the 4, no matter if you have mitts or not, the surface of your hand face inwards, and the 5 and the 6 come from over top. If you guys want to practice it that way, you guys are more than welcome to. If you guys are on your own, you don't have anyone to train with, that's totally fine. This is something though that is important to know, because if you decide to do boxing another term, or you come to my gym, or you go to another gym, it's an important tool to know in the form of boxing. You'll see all the boxing coaches use them for the professional fighters, all the way to people who are just doing this for a workout. Focus mitts are very important. Again, a couple things to remember. You're always in your stance, even as a mitt holder. Your mitts aren't all the way out here. It's called focus mitts for a reason. Simulate the face, or you can also come here to the body. I have a mitt here. Simulating a specific shot with focus mitts. If I have one mitt over here and one mitt over here, I'm not really simulating anything. I don't know a creature that big, that wide. Another thing is giving some feedback, just a little bit, don't overcommit, kind of like a patty cake. And then if you were to hold mitts for someone who's of the opposite stance of you, you have a couple different options you can do. That's the only part that really gets confusing when it comes to mitt holding. Otherwise, a mitt holder needs to be confident, you need to yell out the punches. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully this lockdown kind of ends soon, so then we can practice it in person. Otherwise, guys, when all this is over, you guys are welcome to come to my gym and get a kind of feel for it as well. It's a really great tool to use. Again, nothing you guys really need to do to this video. It's just a really cool informational thing that is part of boxing that as a coach, I do need to share with you guys, even if you guys aren't able to practice it. Next video, I'm gonna go over all the combinations you guys are to perform today. And I'm really excited to see how you guys do. Let me know if you guys have any questions about mitts specifically. If you want to YouTube mitt combinations to see kind of what it's like, you guys can do that as well. See you guys soon.